Welcome to the School of Social Work's workshop on polishing your prose. In this workshop, we will focus on the proper use of transitions and APA headings, both of which can help ensure that your primary points and ideas are clearly communicated. Much of this presentation is based on previously published material and should not be considered the original thoughts or ideas of the presenter. In academic and professional writing, part of your goal is to convey information clearly and concisely, and to convince the reader that your argument and research are sound. Transitions help you achieve these goals by establishing logical links between sentences, paragraphs, and sections. When used properly, they serve as a guide from point A to point Z and enable you to make connections in a smooth, seamless fashion. Whether you are using single words, quick phrases, or full sentences, transitions function as signs, informing readers how to think about, organize, and react to old and new ideas. Good transitions can also assist you with building to a larger point. For the reader, these key visual cues are signs to stay alert because you're getting ready to read something new or really important. Improper or really bad transitions, however, can trip up and confuse readers, and often raise questions about where your ideas and research are headed. Furthermore, omitting a transition can open up a gap in the logic of your argument, and readers tend to fall through these gaps. So, how do you know if you need to improve your use of transitions? Here are some possible clues. First, your instructor returns your papers with written comments such as choppy, jumpy, abrupt, or how is this related? Maybe your friends have told you that they can't follow your organization or train of thought, or that you write the way you think with ideas jumping all over the place. Oftentimes, difficulties with transitions are a direct result of poor organization. So before moving forward, you may want to evaluate the structure of your paper first, just to be sure that your points are in good, logical order. One good way to determine if your work is well organized is to briefly summarize each paragraph. In the margins of your draft, describe in a few words or short phrases what each paragraph is about or how it fits into your overall analysis. This exercise should help you see the order of and connection between your ideas more clearly, if they fit together, that is. If your writing seems disjointed, with points and ideas jumping from one to the next, then you probably need to consider reorganizing your paper. Once it's in proper order, you should have an easier time transitioning from one paragraph to the next. Hopefully, you're already adept at outlining by now, but if not, you should be. Creating a brief outline is one of the best ways to organize the structure of your paper. Developing an outline before starting your first draft can also help you see if you have all the supporting information you need, or if you have any holes you need to fill. The key is to use whatever template or system that works best for you, whether it's a traditional linear outline, such as this one, which uses the step-down method with Roman numerals, letters, and numbers, or this one, which is usually called the Spideror or Cluster method. Perhaps you organize by simply writing your ideas and points down on note cards and then spreading them out on a table and rearranging them. Again, use whatever system works best for you to ensure that your paper is well developed and clearly structured. So once you've determined that your paper is structurally sound and properly organized, then you can carefully review your transitions, making sure to choose words or phrases that ensure that the writing's overall flow is smooth. Fortunately, there are a bevy of transitional devices to use. Just remember that good transitions require a seamless handoff, without abrupt jumps or breaks between ideas. Understanding how transitions communicate different meanings and messages is vital. As the groupings above illustrate, some transitional devices, such as those under the To Add heading, lead readers forward and imply the building of an idea or thought. Others, such as those under To Compare, make readers compare ideas or draw conclusions from the preceding thoughts. Here are more examples, although these are by no means all of the transitions you may use. As always, be careful not to overload your sentences with unnecessary phrases that do nothing more than clutter your paper. We call these placeholders, because they serve no purpose and are uninformative. This chart shows how easy it is to put your writing on a diet. Compare the words and phrases in the left column to those on the right. While the substitutions on the right don't make a huge difference, collectively they make a tremendous difference in how accessible your writing is for the reader. They also replace stuff-sounding words with those that are more informative. Here's a similar exercise. Again, compare the words and phrases on the left with those on the right. Notice how you don't need twice the words to say what you need to say. As always, edit yourself and look for ways to say the same thing more succinctly. Now let's look at headings. Headings can also serve as directional devices, pointing your readers where you'd like them to go, or at least helping them to see and understand the points you're trying to make. As most of you have learned or are quickly learning, APA generally uses 5 levels of headings. These serve as important roadmaps for the reader, especially with organization. Here is a template for proper heading use. You should note that all levels above use the same size font or type size, although you will rarely ever use all levels. For the most part, you will primarily use levels 1 and 3, and sometimes 4. Levels 3 and 4 headlines detail subsections or drill down into your work. If you are unsure which headings to use, you should turn to your outline as a template, provided you did the traditional step-down method. This slide gives you an idea of what that might look like. If you use the spider method, you may need to sketch out a traditional outline to assist you with the headers. Again, notice that levels 3 and 4 highlight subsections. So, using the outline on the previous slide, here's how a portion of the paper would look with proper headers. As always, your APA manual can provide you with more guidance and direction. That's it for our presentation on polishing your prose. We thank you for your time and we hope that this information was helpful.